more tea to spill, guys. More political tea, guys. Yeah, we love political tea. And I covered this already. The whole Hasan bought like a $3 million house in California somewhere. And like, I think most people's perspective was like, oh yeah, it's kind of hypocritical because, you know, not only are you an eat the rich guy, but also you say Jeff Bezos is a bad guy, but like you heavily align yourself with Twitch. Like apparently you have like an exclusive contract with them. And so like you're empowering and you're providing more money to Twitch. You're strengthening Jeff Bezos. And you're a big creator, so you could go to another platform that doesn't abuse people as much or make your own. But the reason that you don't is because you make more money on Twitch. So you're kind of a sellout. Now, obviously, we all know, normal people know that. Hasan's, you know, however, Hasan has been like going out of his way to reprogram all of his viewers into going like, no, I didn't do anything wrong. And it's funny, right? Like, I covered the story. Most people covered the story. It's like, okay, yeah, it's hypocritical, whatever. But his meltdown is what makes me want to watch this because it's funny. I mean, honestly, just take the L, dog. Be like, yeah, I am a hypocrite that just says things for money. Like, that makes sense. But anyway, let's watch this video.
All right, let's do LSF. There's drama. Destiny's take on a Sounds House drama.
If he wants to buy a big-ass house, let him buy a big-ass house.
Yeah, let me guess. I'm exactly like Jeff Bezos. If Jeff Bezos also lives in a society, what does that make it?
So you have to notice the pattern here. This is what happens a lot. And I'm going to be honest, it happens a lot from a lot of leftists, where if they don't have an intelligent argument, they turn your argument into a meme. Oh, I give Jeff Bezos tons of money, even though I call him out for being somebody I think is abusive towards his workers. Okay. Like, that's usually what you'll do. Yeah. Isn't it different because he's self-made? You have to understand, he has the ability to move his platform off of a platform that's associated with, in his opinion, abuse. Twitter is owned by Amazon. He could leave the platform of Twitter and stop contributing to the wealth of Jeff Bezos and go somewhere else and pull his audience there as like a protest. If you truly believe that Amazon is an abusive space and they abuse their workers, you should remove yourself from that scenario. If you have actual conviction in what you believe. If you don't have actual conviction in what you believe, you'll stay there and you'll try to reprogram your audience into being like, oh, see, Hasan needs a house. Like, okay. Yeah.
All the shit.
But I think it's a little funny when a guy spends his whole life shitting on somebody like Bezos and then signs an exclusive contract with Bezos so that he can make millions of dollars to go and buy $1 million mansions. That's funny to me.
Yeah, no, it's socialism is when poor. We've
see, stupidest fucking response.
gone over this.
Dumb response. That's a good point. Like, hey, you criticize Jeff Bezos. Why don't you move your platform somewhere else? Because he won't make as much money. And Hasan can't come up with a good argument, so he memes Destiny's argument. It's like unintelligent response 101. It's like, dude, come on. Like, I don't know how people are dumb enough to fall for this. Like, you're being a hypocrite.
Also, the thing is, there's a discussion to be had about it. Maybe. Who cares really that much? But there are so many bad arguments that are thrown out on all sides of it. Like, one is that, like, it's LA, dude. $3 million is an average house. Shut the fuck up, okay? His house isn't even that big. It was like 4,000 square feet.
It's not. It's 3,800 square feet.
Okay, it's a huge difference.
And it is big. It's the biggest house I have, I guess, been inside of. Wait, didn't someone say he defended me?
The lot is like 6,000. It's a decent-sized house, okay? He has to have a place to put his mom. Bro, she has to live in West Hollywood. My mom literally said...
This is what I find remarkably strange, because it's like, no, my mom doesn't have to live in West Hollywood. I want to live in West Hollywood. And I personally don't understand why, like, this random fucking basement dwelling weirdo.
That's so weird. I know a little bit of Destiny lore. Destiny platformed Hasan. Calling him a random basement dwelling weirdo is so weird. You know who he is. He helped platform you. He's probably, I would say Destiny's probably the most respected political content creator on YouTube. Just shut the fuck up. Like, he's such a douchebag. You could live anywhere, and it's totally fine. You want to live where you want to. That's totally cool. But you got your wealth off of Amazon, so you're contributing to the abuse of Amazon. You could move to another platform. You can create your own platform. People will watch you. If I go and look right now, you probably have like 30,000 people watching you. And you're probably recommended to me somewhere. This will be see 35,000 points. I don't even watch this guy. He's just recommended to everybody. You could move those people somewhere else, but you insist on doing it on fucking Twitch because you want more money.
Has any say on the matter any more than like dumbasses on the fucking internet? Like, yeah, I'm gonna live where I want to fucking live, dude. Like, I'm not gonna move to fucking Omaha, Nebraska, dude. Hey, jealousy's a disease, love. Okay, get well soon. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say.
Funny.
I don't think anybody's really jealous. Like, good for you for making the money, but it's just funny. It's just funny because you're a hypocrite.
If you don't live in West Hollywood, I'm gonna fucking hate you. There's so many dog shit arguments being thrown out. I don't really care that much about it.
Yeah, certainly. I'm sure he doesn't care that much about it.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at something here, okay?
So, like, yeah, I don't think Destiny does care too much
Let's
about
see,
it. This is like a response on like live stream fails because somebody asked him about Hasan and he gave like a quick 1-minute hot take on it.
He doesn't care that much about it.
He didn't even make
right?
a video
I mean,
about it.
I'm sure.
If you cared enough about it, he would have made it a video on YouTube.
How many of the fucking Destiny
But I don't think Destiny's into political drama.
subreddit posts are just about me, dude? Let's take a look. Big oops on LSF
Bro,
today.
this is even more funnier because Hasan thinks that he's making an intelligent point. He's like, oh, you don't care? Well, then why is your subreddit full of me? That proves Destiny doesn't give a shit about you, about this situation, because what this shows is that his audience is very interested in the Hasan situation, but Destiny, and he knows that he'll get views if he posts a video about it, but he didn't post a video about it. So he quite literally doesn't care. You're proving he doesn't care. You're being a baby right now.
Top 10 things that did not age well.
It's just a bunch of Destiny shit.
Post of me. Okay, I'm clicking on all of these. Okay. Let's look. Top 10 things that did not age well. Big oops on LSF. Guys, he bought the cheapest. POV, you're moving to the
He's so
poor parts
upset.
of Beverly Hills.
That's funny.
Shit post Pepe laugh. Okay, that's just Destiny on meth.
It's just funny,
No,
dude.
bro, she has changed. While Destiny's on meth, Vosh has been taking roids. Melina, sorry. My favorite.
Did he make a video since I've seen it? Because I haven't seen. I looked before the stream.
All day and then buy one, so I need to reprogram my audience. Sweatstiny. Hasanabi reacts to envy. Destiny is wrong.
Oh, he did yesterday. Oh, it's because of the doxing drama. It's something to do with doxing. So it's not. It's Destiny dresses the Hasan doxing. So this isn't necessarily about his house. This was like
I have with me.
This was yesterday. Yeah, at the time I looked, this wasn't up. But this isn't even about the house itself. This is about apparently he got doxed. I don't really give a shit about that. But
Never exploited a worker in his life. John sees the light. Or the Twitter. You'll watch the pool. I'll watch the skies. It's getting crazy out here. Mike Veers, when Hasan's stream starts, he's like, literally all of the fucking posts. All of the pros. Yeah, I saw him. I clicked on him. I saw.
It seems like he's obsessed. Hasan is obsessed with fucking Destiny's response. I think it's because Destiny's pretty well respected within the political field, and Hasan is just like upset that he doesn't like him.
Where else can I get the dumbass fucking arguments, dude? That people fucking, that people get. I mean, change it to Hasan fucking _ Piker at this point.
It's
dude.
a Reddit, bro.
There's more Hasan content in his own fucking subreddit than anything else.
It's his subreddit. So usually they'll be like, hey, I want to, like, they'll address a topic on Reddit.
Chat, how do I delete history?
I didn't realize, dude, even my own fucking subreddits don't talk about me that much.
Dude, he's so dumb. So his argument is like, Destiny, your subreddit's about me and not other people. My subreddit doesn't talk about me. So it's like, yeah, your own subreddit usually doesn't talk about you. That's the point. They'll talk about whatever's like an interesting topic. Do you not understand? Like, oh, Destiny, your subreddit isn't even talking about you. It's talking about me. Yeah, you're the topic of the day. Why are you fucking melting down? Why are you the Trisha Paytas of political drama, dude?
I do think it's kind of funny that
Yeah, he just thinks it's kind of funny. He certainly doesn't care about it. Because he has no
In
content but
20
shitting on you.
months,
God
someone
damn,
goes
dude.
and your
I just think
place
it's
for
I think
announce
all
and
the
make up
cope.
for it.
I just shouldn't have fucking bought a house. Me and my mom and my whole family
We should have been
could
homeless.
just live rent-free inside of Destiny's mind.
He's
'Cause apparently we have a lot of space in there, okay? That's free real estate.
Dude, that's a Twitch clip. It's like a minute, and he's like, "You're fucking obsessed with me." What the fuck?
You're exploiting AWS IT workers, by the way, if you didn't know.
I don't know what that is,
the
but
fucking
sure.
arguments are like literally the dumbest. These are Sargon of Akkad level arguments.
What are you talking
It's
about,
so
bro?
sad what just undying and blinding hatred.
He is like a real narcissist. I think, you know what's interesting as I watch more and more Hasan? He thinks people hate him. He's a very conceited individual. He thinks people hate him, but honestly, like, he's funny because he's like a joke. It's funny to watch Hasan melt down. He's kind of pathetic. Like, you're being hypocritical. People are making reasonable arguments because you're contributing to a company that you criticize heavily when you don't have to. You quite literally could go somewhere else. And then when people be like, yeah, you know, this is hypocritical, you're like, oh, no, actually it's not. And now you're spending a bunch of time trying to reprogram your audience to think that you're not a hypocritical dick. But you are. And it makes it worse that you're like melting down like a fucking 5-year-old over. And it makes it funny, though.
Towards like an ideology or a person will do to an entire fucking community of supposed like debate lords who
Wait, what?
person finding it's so sad what just undying and blinding hatred towards like an ideology or a person will do to an entire fucking community of supposed like debate lords.
Is Hasan talking to himself and his community? Like, I'm so confused. Because that's what you do. Like, you guys hate capitalism so much you have a fucking meltdown. And then people reasonably criticize you. You fucking cry.
To love
The
arriving at the truth.
gaslighting is real, guys.
Wow, beautifully put. You don't understand, man. We're gonna support our revolutionary. He deserves it. 50 more get the subs for the revolution.
Fine,
Yeah,
boss,
like
I
nobody's
still-
fucking giving me subs for the revolution. You fucking dumbasses. No one's doing that. So you're just making up a guy.
Bro, it's funny. It's a joke. You can't even take a joke. That's funny.
I love making up a guy because that guy does not exist. So that, you know, I can make up a guy and get mad at that guy so I can have an argument.
Bro, this is so funny. He's getting so upset. This is amazing, bro.
I love that. Some of the spicy fucking takes I've seen are, like Hasan shouldn't fucking work with Amazon.
Yeah,
Like,
you shouldn't.
you know, it's fine if you are working at the Amazon distribution facility, okay? Because you need it to survive.
Yeah, but those people need to survive. So, like, this is one of those things. And leftists, I've noticed leftists do this a lot. They'll propose, like, a particular, like, good point, right? So, for instance, somebody will be like, oh, men don't have enough education on, like, on interactions with women and creating comfortable spaces for those women, right? And they'll say that, though, after they sexually harass 2 women and then blame society for it, where they actually are educated on their topic or they have an alternative choice to not sexually harass 2 women and then say that one of them wasn't mentally capable of it. And then, like, society heavily created him. Even though you're heavily invested and ingrained into feminist ideology, and you should understand the fundamentals of no, right? That's the same thing here. An Amazon worker if you're working for Amazon, you probably need the job. Also, not everybody thinks Amazon is like super abusive, right? So like I fucking stream on Twitch because Twitch is fine. I mean, like, yes, we do need to tax Twitch better. We need to tax Amazon better. Absolutely. But I don't think Jeff Bezos is like a morally corrupted individual. I think he's like everybody engaged. People, when they engage in business tactics, are shitty. I don't know what to tell you. We need a better government to actually monitor this. Ironically, you know, you're proposing a stronger government, but our government sucks. So, you know, big L on that one. But so, like, you don't have to work for Amazon, though. You could move somewhere else. And now you're trying to, like, bring up a fundamental argument of, like, oh, some people have to work for a company, so then I have to, even though I'm a millionaire that could work anyway. You could just go to fucking YouTube, bro. Go to YouTube. Go to YouTube, go make a new streaming service, go to balls.com. I don't know what the fuck other services are, but you could do that. But now he's trying to make it seem like he's like the poorest guy. Like, I have to work somewhere, bro. You probably could quit working and then like never have to work for the rest of your life. Yeah.
But like Hasan shouldn't have contracts with Amazon.
Yes, you
Hasan
shouldn't.
Should not be getting into a contract with Amazon. Like,
No,
that's
you
it.
shouldn't.
That's the take.
Yes.
It's so fucking
Based on your ideology that Amazon is abusive, yes. Facebook gaming, go for
stupid
there.
that I don't know how to respond to it.
Because you don't know how to respond to it, not because it's stupid, because you're stupid. You don't understand what you're saying. See, this is another thing, is that like a lot of leftists will do this shit too. And I say leftists, not progressives, because progressives are no. I'm actually a progressive. Now, I know that it looks like, you know, I'm not, but like I am. I'm a UBI supporter, shit like that. But this is what leftists, like a lot of times leftists will do. They'll bypass a very strong, simple argument and then create rhetoric off of a weak base. That's what this is. And so, like, yeah, you could leave Amazon, bro.
It's like straw man fallacy. What do you mean? He literally has said that. I saw the video. Motherfucker,
Getting better.
Microsoft has
I'll go
contracts
work
with
out.
Amazon. Like, there is no escaping Amazon.
Who cares? You're not Microsoft. Your life is a protest. You give like politicians shit for not protesting. This is one of the funny things. I've seen some of the conversations. He thinks that politicians should also be they should also be like protesters. Or there's another word that I'm looking for. Activists, right? They should be active politicians. They shouldn't like do what their base wants. They should be activists, like Bernie Sanders. Which, by the way, Bernie's a great guy. I just don't believe in everything he says. But he's a great guy, a great, well-intentioned guy who believes in himself, right? But like you're fucking sitting here and like you're not protesting with your platform. Move. That would get Amazon's attention. Other people might move too, but like you're not doing that.
Okay? He gets so mad, apparently.
He's not that mad. You're
I mean,
really
look, if
mad.
he
It's
wants-
funny.
If he wants more viewership, like here, I'll give it to
Don't
him a little
spend it
bit. You
all
know
in
what I mean?
one
I'll give
place,
him a little bit of
Look
a
at
fucking
Bro,
boost there.
so
we can
conceited.
find-
Could you imagine never having to actually work in your life? Like your job is handed to you by your uncle, and the person that you're criticizing is somebody who platformed you into the political sphere. And like you're like, oh, he just wants clicks and views. Bro, you're sad, man. You're a conceited dick. It's funny and it's pathetic. Like I feel bad for you genuinely because your life is empty and meaningless. I mean, realistically, if you think that everything boils down to people just unjustifiably hating you, it's incredible. That's how fucking dumb you are. Like, you don't understand. And I know that I'm being mean, but it's the truth, man. And it's fucking so sad. Like, people aren't that obsessed with you. It's just funny when you have a meltdown because you're a kid.
finally have some fucking content. But it's wild, dude. It's insane. It's like,
Thank Bezos.
don't work with Amazon, dude. Okay, fuck it. Yeah.
Yeah,
It
don't.
ironically goes back to that same argument. It was just like, oh, if you're advocating for better conditions for workers, one, you are of course not allowed to have you're not allowed to generate income for yourself beyond what I
No, that's not true. You can move to another service.
arbitrarily have assumed is appropriate for you. So
Oh
that's
my
number
God.
one. Okay, that's the most important argument here is that like I'm a random guy in a fucking dark basement on the internet, and I have assigned an
He's so
arbitrary
mad,
number
bro.
that is acceptable for you to fucking have. Okay,
What?
that's it. You can't go above that number. And two, you can only complain about the current circumstances that people exist under if you yourself are suffering under those conditions.
What are you talking
Anything
about?
outside of that, no, it's unacceptable. Why? Why is that unacceptable?
What are
It
you-
is the
what are you
complete-
talking
it's the
about?
dumbest fucking take on the planet. It is so fucking stupid.
Really good. I just think it's funny. But I see so many dog shit arguments. The argument that would be used is that Hasan doesn't exploit workers like Bezos does. Of course he exploits workers. What are you talking about? Who do you think runs the servers that he fucking advertised on? Who
It's a good point.
Yeah. This is why people say there is no ethical consumption under capitalism.
No. This is what socialists say, so that they can remove accountability from themselves. Socialists will often talk about how there's abuse linked to everything. That's true, but there are different stages of abuse. There are different levels of abuse. If you are rallying against a massive company, possibly the biggest company in America or even the world, which is Amazon, you could not contribute to Amazon as much as possible. You could go to a different service. Would there still be abuse? Sure. There might be the abuse from the servers being made in some other capacity. I don't really know. But it won't be the same level of abuse. You're actively railing against Amazon when you're saying that you actively rail against Amazon, but then you support them as much as possible.
So the argument then completely fucking falls apart. And it is literally no different than what a dumbass right-winger would say. It's just being said by
Look at that, that's the meme. If you're a progressive that criticizes leftist, like ignorant leftist ideology like Hasan, you're now a conservative idiot. It's pathetic.
who is supposedly on the left or a neoliberal, and also being put eloquently. I'll admit, like, he is rhetorically gifted. He can very confidently speak on matters, which certainly appeal to a lot of people on the internet. I am a dumb himbo. I am not very good at rhetoric.
I love it. So Hasan is now backtracked to like, well, his argument sounds good because he's really intelligent, and I'm just stupid, but I know I'm right. I just can't express myself. Dude, you have no conviction. This is a coward. This is a coward.
Like a lot. I say a lot. I can't speak
Who cares?
super fast. That doesn't appeal to a very specific type of, online debate wanter, an online debate watcher who comes in for the blood sport.
You don't need to be somebody that's engaged in like debate debate culture to be able to formulate a reasonable argument to defend your ideology. You don't have to be a debate, bro. These are very basic points. This isn't something that somebody that would be engaged in a debate would have a hard time deconstructing.
This notion that it is exploitation when you're working with Amazon.
Yes.
Where there are exploited workers down the line.
Yeah.
That you are taking advantage of. Yes. Yeah. Of course this is true.
Oh, so he acknowledges it.
I wear T-shirts that are made by fucking child slave labor in Indonesian factories. Okay.
So, but wait, that's like another problem. Like, if you truly believe that, you have a lot of money. You could start up your own a company that doesn't use slave labor and just hire all American workers. Like, you could do. This is the problem, is that you're literally rich. And you could invest your resources into like America only or non-abuse only type of products. You can invest in your own streaming service. You can invest in your own like clothing line. But like you're lazy. You don't even have to invest in making your own. You could just find one that exists that uses like America only labor. But you refuse to do it. So this is worse than people who don't even understand that there's abuse in our system. You understand it and choose not to move around that abuse, even though you have the money. And it's so funny because like capitalism, the biggest thing, like your money is your ability to protest in America. And you won't exercise that right because you're greedy and you're a hypocrite.
Okay? Ethical consumption is functionally impossible.
No, it's not.
Completely impossible. Under a capitalist organization.
And it doesn't even matter if it's impossible because there's levels to it. There's not a yes or no question. You could be less abusive. You could have more ethical consumption.
The economy. I have an iPhone. I have an iPhone. This iPhone has conflict minerals in it for it to fucking work. Minerals that have been extracted from the ground.
Okay.
That were extracted under horrifying conditions. Okay? It's baked into every part of our system. So
yeah, but there's different levels. Like, I'm assuming you can't find like all phones use these minerals, right? So you couldn't find a phone that wouldn't be abusive. But I will say that iPhones specifically, I believe, are made in China, and like factory workers are jumping off of buildings, killing themselves because they're being overworked. So you could probably buy a different brand that doesn't kill Chinese people to make their shit, right? Oh wow. But like a phone is different. So like then maybe you have a T-shirt. All you have to do is not find, or what you have to do is find somewhere where they get clothing, but they don't use abuse in it, or there's less abuse. They pay American workers, for instance, and you could purchase that clothing.
Admitting that.
But you like whatever's on your shirt, so you're like, yeah, fuck it. I don't care about the abuse. You quite simply don't. You're not a real activist or advocate for your own ideology. You're a hypocrite, and you're like a bad person. You have the means to protest the things that you say you're passionate about, but you simply don't because you're complacent. That's what it comes down to. You're a hypocrite. And people who follow you and take you seriously, I feel bad for those people because they're fundamentally unintelligent and uneducated. But the irony is that you're probably like the biggest like pylon for leftist and communist and socialist ideology in America in general. And everybody follows you and they bitch and moan about capitalism, but they love existing in the system and they love contributing to it. They just also like to complain. So you've really just proven that you and your audience just like to bitch and moan about fucking everything, but don't really want to take any action to change it because you're lazy. And that's expected from somebody who had their job handed to them and never really worked a real day in their life.
Talking about it and trying to change it.
Just a bunch of like privileged
leftists. The first step of that change starts with awareness. Does not mean
you got to be aware. The first step is awareness. The second step is acting on it. You have the money to do that.
Why would I
25 months
handicap myself on purpose?
This community grow.
Dude, this is incredible.
For this insane,
the reprogramming
inescapable reality
is
that
insane.
exploitation.
You see how I went to the iPhone? That's because the socialism is no iPhone is being spammed. It's a meme. They don't have to come up with an intelligent argument.
Is baked into every part of our fucking lives.
Pathetic.
This is no different than
it's pathetic.
Lol, you say you're a socialist, and yet you have an iPhone.
No, it's not.
I'm sorry. I know it sounds like it's more intellectual, but it is in the very essence of...
Debate Hasan. Hasan wouldn't... Like, I don't debate, first of all. I have, like, reasonable conversations. Like, I don't play, like, the gotcha bullshit. Second of all, Hasan wouldn't have a conversation with anybody in general. He's, like, a coward. I don't...
Pseudo-intellectual garbage. And it only works if you already have a preconceived bias towards the left, which you very well may have. It's kind of what I'm here for, so you can perhaps escape that.
Escape that.
Who do you think is employed by Twitch to like make sure that all the shit is working at the company? Of course you are. Unless you literally are fucking like, if you go outside and you're literally growing fucking like crops on your own and then selling that shit, then maybe you're not exploiting workers. But you're using a massive infrastructure that's set up by a whole bunch of other people. Like that idea of like, well, I don't exploit workers. The funniest thing about that idea.
And I'm sure he'll like fucking tie this back to editor shit that his community fucking completely.
I don't know what you're talking
completely fucking made up
not
too.
Exploiting workers is exactly the same argument libertarians make when they say they don't want to pay taxes.
Oh, surprising that he didn't go there.
Really,
even though like one of my editors is a DGG Frog originally, and like literally they'll downvote him in the subreddit because they keep like lying about him, and he's like, "You guys are
what
fucking
are you
assholes,
talking
stop
about?
lying," and they'll downvote him in the subreddit. Like I've seen him once again. Once again.
Whole bunch of other people like that idea.
He's not wrong. Of course, exploitation is baked into every part of the system.
I can tell. I see why people like Hasan though, because like they don't have to think when they listen to what he's saying. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to think critically if you listen to Hasan.
Recognize.
Also, he's attractive. I mean, he's a fuckable guy. Like let's be honest here. He's definitely a fuckable guy. He's very breedable and dominant or submissive, depending on what you guys want to say. Looking very breedable and dominant today, Hasan. And that's really what it boils down to, though. Because as a leftist, he should actually understand the halo effect and how, like, aligning with, like, European beauty standards is going to make you more palatable. Now, of course, his response would be like, I'm not from Europe, I'm from somewhere else. I don't really know exactly where he's from, but his name is Hasan, so I'm assuming that it's something else. I'm an ignorant white guy. But he's definitely aligns more with European beauty standards. I mean, he is definitely white. He's from Turkey. He's definitely white passing. He has very handsome features, a very attractive person. And so, like, a lot of young people, you know, especially girls and, like, gay dudes, a lot of gay and then non-binary people, they're like, oh, my God, Hasan's so sexy. Very confused kids that, like, don't know, like, quite their sexuality. They're like, oh, my God, you know, they follow Hasan. And then they're also kids, so they're kind of dumb, so they don't really know what they're talking about. Like, they very palatable messages. It's like, hey, this thing is bad, and then, like, memes. Like, kids like memes. That's what all of Hasan is, like, memes. Like, oh, no, iPhone, LOL. Memes, stuff like that. Hey, Papa, you're looking very fertile. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Talking about.
That's why you follow me. No, exactly. Like I'm also very heavily aligned with like European beauty standards.
About it, trying to change it is what you can do. Damn, there are so many convenient.
So change it, idiot.
To be completely immune to any and all criticism from hypocrisy, or maybe there is no hypocrisy and you're upset that there is no hypocrisy there. Like,
I think you're upset there is.
Escape. You know what I mean? This is the funniest thing when people are like, wow, that's a convenient argument. It's like, yeah. I
really like this, though, because what Hasan is saying to people is that, like, you can't do anything about capitalism, so don't even bother. So he's actually, like, making his audience more apathetic to his cause, which is good because, like, socialism and communism are dog shit.
It is, because it's the fucking truth. It's only inconvenient to you because
bro,
you don't...
Someone said, Papa, you're looking dominant and barren today? That's
to be a legitimate argument.
I want to have kids soon.
Here's him signaling in chat how he doesn't understand SSS Sniper Wolf's unimaginable wealth while she's doing a tour of her house. Hasan's house is 25% smaller and costs the same amount. Wait, this guy literally got the fucking square footage of SSS Sniper Wolf's unimaginable wealth. She's insanely wealthy. She's one of the biggest fucking YouTubers on the planet. I love that these people have literally zero concept of how to fucking purchase a house, what it takes to purchase a house.
What are we talking about? Nobody cares about Sniper Wolf. She's not political. She's not a fucking, like, communist, so we don't care.
What location means for a house. She lives in the fucking middle of a goddamn desert in a massive compound. One of the biggest fucking YouTubers, and, like, that's the same. We make the same amount of money.
She was on Darman, so I know she's big.
Okay, you got me, dude. Thanks. She's literally the biggest fucking female YouTuber. And how is he not profiting of the labor?
How do you know that she's a female, though, bro? Come on, you can't really assume these things.
People who clearly don't know the first thing about socialism, trying to gotcha socialism over some nonsensical misinterpretation of exploitation and bougie lifestyle, so pathetic. You're just making it obvious you have no idea what you're talking about. Socialism is fuck.
Yes, this aligns with my confirmation bias. I'm going to read this one to you guys.
One individual person's lifestyle. It's not and never was about rich or poor, good or bad, nor living some kind of aesthetic lifestyle. It's a cold and dispassionate analysis of an economic organization of production that distributes resources unevenly. Holy shit, this dude is fucking great. He's right.
I mean, like, capitalism isn't the only thing that distributes fucking... Bro, people who are power hungry are going to abuse any type of government that they can to be abusive. Fortunately, our governments are the least abusive governments out of them all. I mean, quite literally, one of the problems with one of the problems with Afghanistan was that we were giving money to the Afghan government and they were misusing it. They weren't paying their soldiers. They were just like embezzling the fuck out of it. You know, like this shit happens regardless of the country. I mean, like, it's funny because like China is like, I guess, as close to communist as we got right now, and like they're abusing the fuck out of their workers. Like, it doesn't matter what system you're in, a freedom of speech and like more of like a democracy, democratic republic, whatever the fuck whatever, who cares? Those are the freer people. Now, like, listen, communism might work at some point. That's totally fine. But like, chill the fuck out with like the capitalism is the evil thing, because the capitalist countries are like the least oppressive countries in the world. I mean, you'll die, you'll get like fucking stoned to death if you say you're gay in other countries.
Based on conflicts of interest between those who own and those who operate the means of production, among other things that also fall in the category of private property of the landlords. How the fuck does enjoying nice things negate that? No wonder socialism is so stigmatized. If you fucking idiots think it necessitates living like a college student or a caveman, that's exactly what socialists are trying to prevent.
No, nobody's saying that.
How way too many
Nobody's saying that. You wouldn't go broke if you fucking went to a different platform instead of Twitch, Hasan, you fucking child.
people live now. That's great. Holy shit. He fucking popped off. For some reason, someone signing an exclusive contract with Jeff Bezos who then makes enough money on his own contract to buy a $3 million house and afford a $900 stakes and then go and say kill the rich and complain. Kill the rich. Okay. Yeah.
Eat the rich.
Totally. And then complain about it. Dude, that's the other part about this. It's like these guys are like, they're cancer. Like, they just literally make shit up. And then other dumbasses who are on that fucking subreddit click on this and go, what? He's doing all this? That's fucking nuts.
So why didn't you make a response video that clears up your specific political ideologies instead of crying and bitching and reprogramming your audience in this pathetic fucking video? Wouldn't that make more sense?
No one's going to come to my stream and be like, I wonder if this is what this guy is about. You know what I mean? Let me go click. No, you just read that, and now there's like 1,000 people who are like, yeah, this guy literally is doing all that. And also, this argument seems to be very... this argument seems to be crazy.
Yeah, so is yours, dog.
Ultimately, these arguments are really fucking bad. Like, they're really, really bad, which is surprising because it's coming out of a community that is that, you know, revels in intellectual conquest, I thought. So
14 months.
So that's kind of weird. All right, let's do LSA.
You know, it's so funny because like there was a point where people were like, Papa, Hasan's not that bad. He's not that bad. He's a good guy. He's nice. I realized that he's not a bad person. He's just he's like a massive hypocrite that doesn't have any conviction. Like, in all honesty, like, all jokes aside, I think that's the most disappointing thing, is that Hasan is like a large, like, more leftist content creator who advocates for like less abuse and like removing the capitalist system. He has a lot of money. He has the ability to protest like the most abusive systems. Like, by his logic would be Amazon. He has the ability to protest that abusive system by going to another field for a specific reason of, this is an abusive system. I don't think people should stream on here. I'm going to move somewhere else. But he refuses to do that. And the specific reason why is because he knows that Twitch is established and he wants more money. But he doesn't need the money, right? Like, I get it. He amassed $1 million or millions of dollars on Twitch. But now you have the money to... what the fuck? I can't even think of the word. Jesus Christ. You have the money to be an activist, to speak out against Twitch and say, I made my money here. I've always wanted to make enough money so that I could like go to another platform and protest Twitch's abusive policies in general. I don't want to support an abusive company. I want to move on. You could totally do that. You'd garner a lot of respect, but you'd lose money. And so that's why you don't do it. You could reduce the abuse. Yes, there's abuse in everything, but you could reduce this abuse by going to a different direction. You don't have to buy clothing when you're a millionaire that's made by fucking slave labor. You could quite literally buy a different... You could literally just buy... Your friend Ethan, I believe, has clothing that's all like American made, you know? And so like you could do something like that. But like you don't do that. You don't do that, bro. You don't do that, and it's because you want money. You're greedy and you're selfish, and like that's your problem. Despite talking about people don't need as much money as you have, you're a hypocrite, and like you want more money because you're a greedy, selfish person. Whether that's like inherent or whether you were programmed like that by capitalism, you are a capitalist, and you're comfortable being a capitalist, and you're comfortable manipulating people into believing that you actually care about them and their ideology. And so like, yeah, you're kind of a bad person, I think, with no conviction. You know, maybe not a bad, but you're a coward though, for sure. You're a total huge coward. You know, maybe it's just because you're so self-absorbed that you would be like mentally devastated if you didn't have like 30-something thousand viewers every single time you streamed. And I think that like you don't want to take the risk because you're worried that people won't watch you off of another site. But like this is the problem, bro. You're not you say you should be an activist. You should be put your money where your mouth is, quite literally. But you know, those free Prime subs, they really add up. They really add up.